Hey, what's up everyone? I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night, but for now, let's get into the video.
I could give a damn if I do not have emotional safety around you. I could care less about how much money you make. I could care less how tall are you. I could care less if you know how to whip it. Emotional safety is number one.
I'm sure it is, until I can make the bills this month and you need to chip in. I'm sure those are the stuff you say when you're bored at work. I haven't seen a store that empty in my entire life. You can sell Christmas stuff in July and you'll still have more clients in.
Guys, can I have some advice? This is for the girls. I really need your help because I'm starting to get a bit worried for myself and I think I'm going to end up alone. I don't know what's wrong with me and I just need some advice. So, since I've been single, which is over a year, I have literally been on about 3 dates. Maybe not even that. I don't even think I can count some as dates, right? And it's not that like guys haven't asked me out, but like I just don't want to go. Or like in my mind I'm like, you're not good enough. I don't know how to explain it. Like I don't know how to explain it. And I literally will go to the gym and I'll just look at all the men in the gym today and I'm just like, yuck. Like I'm just like, ew. Like you're all just, ew. Don't come anywhere near me. My friends all said to me, like, you need to get out on dates, like, you're a single gal in Bali, like, live your best life. And I'm like, okay, where should I find these men? They're like Hinge. Okay, so I downloaded Hinge, right? And I matched one guy and he asked me out on a date and I still didn't want to go on a date with him. Like, what is wrong with me? I actually genuinely think I have a bit of a problem. Like, what is wrong with me?
Princess syndrome. You put on a little bit of makeup and you think you're better than everyone. Personality? Screw that. Who has time to develop one of those these days? Character? What a joke. What are you gonna do with that when you don't even look at yourself in the mirror? Morals? Not when you think you're a 10 out of 10. You can put on 1,000 filters when you're making a TikTok, but the fact that only one guy matched with you since you went on Hinge should be concerning, maybe a little bit.
I'm about to sound like such an incel defender right now, and I swear that I'm not, but I think a really good way that you can gauge whether a girl has a really good heart and whether she's truly a good friend and a good person is through seeing the way that she treats unattractive men who hit on her or are interested in her romantically. I've been really fortunate throughout my life with my friendships in that most of my friends were amazing, but I've had some instances where girls ended up stabbing me in the back, being really bad people, and just betraying me overall. The one thing that I can think of that all of these girls had in common is that they were so incredibly rude and dehumanizing to men that were below their league who hit on them. They would come to me snickering and be like, oh my gosh, you're never gonna guess what happened. You're never gonna guess what kind of person tried to hit on me today. I've been in that scenario where I felt like a guy that was below my league hit on me, but I think it just takes a certain amount of respect for other people, human decency, desire not to humiliate others to handle that in the right way. I'm not saying they had to get with them or anything. I just think that as fellow girls who are in our young 20s and are cute or whatever, we're obviously gonna be nice to each other. So seeing the way that they treat people who are in a more marginalized state says more about their character than how they treat you, a fellow cute girl.
Having to ignore all the below my league and all this TikTok talk that she was using, I think what she was trying to say is that bad people treat people bad. Because I really don't think it has anything to do with how you treat men and you're gonna treat women different. I also don't think it matters if you're in your 20s or not. You can be in your 40s and still treat people bad. Maybe the only thing you don't fully grasp in your 20s is that the way you treat people is how people will treat you. So if you treat people poorly, they're gonna treat you in the same way, and in return, if you're nice to people, they're gonna be nice to you. I'm not really sure, guys. I've been on TikTok for a while now, but I still don't fully understand the language.
I thought it was pretty obvious, but I guess I'll just clarify just for the fun of it. But men, if you want to attract a high value woman, you've got to be high value yourself. I've spoken to quite a few men lately who think they're high value, but they're not, and they want to attract a high value woman, or they know they're not high value, and yet they still want to attract one because they think they can use their money. And I'm like, dude, it doesn't work that way. A true high value woman is not going to be attracted just to money. She's going to be attracted to everything on the inside. So men, if you want to attract a high value woman, you've got to commit first to yourself, commit to the healing, commit to the work, commit to the changes and the self-awareness before you can commit to a high value woman, because she's going to be like driving a Ferrari.
So a high value woman is only a high value woman because she has money. But a high value man is not high value just because he has money. He also has to do the work. Oh, the high value woman driving the Ferrari already did the work. Because how could she have not, right? This is gonna be a pretty dumb question since I'm absolutely positive you have no idea what a high value woman means or ever seen one. But what's the difference between a high value woman and the true high value woman?
She's going to be a handful in a good way. She's going to be a force. So you can't show up in frickin' Kia energy. You've got to level up in all the areas, financially, professionally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. You've got to be able to take care of your body financially. You can't be some broke ass dude.
For someone who doesn't care about my money, you do save financially a lot. Oh, because you're not just a high value woman, you're a true high value woman. Even with my body, I have to take care of my body financially, whatever that means. Or I could just stay away from someone like you, since that's also an option. Another option would be to just wait for you until you spell Ferrari, but I don't have the rest of my life for that.
I'll tell you what being single has unexpectedly done for me. Apart from the chronic and crippling loneliness, it has created space for all of those little buried emotions and those little buried bits of trauma that I didn't know I was holding on to. It's given them the space to magically come to the surface. So stuff that I thought I was dealing with pretty well, now when you're bored, when you're sat home by yourself, those things crop up, you go, actually, now they've got space, they're coming to the surface and they are coming with a vengeance. So now while I'm navigating, doing everything by myself, I'm also navigating this whole world of emotion that I didn't think I had to deal with. And now I have to deal with because now there's space for it. It is taking over my life and it is making things very, very challenging.
And she is happier than now since she's single, she has time to deal with those emotions, which is not exactly a bad thing, but I don't think she understands that those emotions, or at least some of them, are brought to the surface because of that crippling loneliness.
Part of the reason that women don't want to date is because it's becoming such a difficult task to vet whether or not the man you are talking to is going to eventually hurt you. And I'm not just talking about the type of hurt that will emotionally scar you or make you distrust men for the rest of your life. I'm talking about the type of hurt that will put you in physical harm's way or threaten your life. We face an unfortunate reality of men being predatory in this world, especially in the United States. It is the responsibility of men to hold each other accountable and push each other to seek help and get access to resources. Most of the time because men will only listen to other men because they respect men or they have some sort of deep-rooted misogyny that they don't understand from their mother-son relationship. I'm not saying that all men are bad in any way, shape, or form, but when you run the risk of your life being put on the line, it's just not worth it to put yourself out there anymore. Men who are resentful about women having really strong walls need to take a look in the mirror and understand it's their responsibility to hold their peers accountable to be better. And women need to be better about having difficult conversations about what those red flags look like in the beginning of the relationship before emotional attachment develops.
If you are only listening, yes, she does have a nose ring. Men have the responsibility of holding other men accountable, and women have the responsibility of holding men accountable. Because women, especially in the US, that makes perfect sense, because if you think about it for a second, no one has a better or easier life than those women living under the Sharia law. The bad men in the states that she's talking about make 0.003% of the entire male population. So of course it's women in the states that have the worst life ever if you took gender studies in school.
I am 38 years old, I am single, and I am child-free. And as you told me that a decade ago, I would have thought that meant that I hadn't made it, or I was super lonely, or that I had failed at life, and that couldn't be further from the truth. I spent so much of my younger years at war with myself, not knowing who I was, operating from external validation, and terrified of aging. I am the happiest, most confident, most financially stable, most emotionally stable, healthiest, most connected and rooted to my purpose and what I'm here to do in this world, the most embodied and connected to my own erotic life force than I've ever been. I have the best community that I've ever had. I use my free time and my financial freedom to travel and take workshops and do the things that light me up in this world. I think we are sold a very specific story and a very specific timeline around what happiness is. And I just want you to know that there are so many other ways to live a happy, successful, fulfilling life.
And what if I choose the other ones? Why is it so important for you to try to convince me that I should live my life the way you live your life? Oh, it's because...
Own erotic life force.
Yeah, I used to touch myself too, but then I grew up. You're at the point where I'm all this, I'm all that. You're also at the point where not too many men will take you seriously. That's not to say they won't sleep with you, but not too many will consider you for anything else. So let me make sure I got your point right, because we were talking about Ferraris earlier. I'm not buying one not because I can't afford one, but because I don't want one. Did that cover everything?
I saw this video today and it really resonates with me. It was basically about how women choose to stay single for so long these days because they have really high standards for a romantic partner based off relationships they have outside of that, like friendships and whatnot. And it really resonates with me. Here's an example why. So on the Wednesday, I booked to do a marathon in Adelaide, and I live in Melbourne. And I told my best mate, he had work on the Saturday, the marathon was on the Sunday. He finished work, he flew to Adelaide, he slept 3 hours. The man woke up to organize my nutrition. He's made me breakfast, he's got my hydration, you name it, he's done it. I have a sore ankle, he's rubbing it down for me. Ass crack of dawn, it's pitch black outside, he walks me over to the start line and he ran 22 kilometers following me around that day. A water bottle and good vibes and gels and anything that I needed, and that's on friendship, and that's why my standards are so high.
She's so ignorant it's almost cute. Or she knows exactly what she's doing and she's taking advantage. I know you kept saying him and he, but if there's one obvious thing coming out of your video is that he has no balls. If he did, he would tell you exactly what he feels and he will get out of your friend zone one way or the other. There is something weird going on because I've seen dogs with no balls that still bark. But when it comes to our species, the little pup will just follow her around for 22 kilometers.
When I first got divorced, one of the things that happened very often whenever I went to a restaurant on holiday, somewhere like this, and people would look at me and my daughter with their eyes full of sorrow when they said, just the two of you. Like she wasn't enough for me to just be there with her, and like there must be something wrong with me. Like in some way, something in my life had failed. And that's never been true for me.
When I first got divorced implies that you've been married more than once. So if after the first time you got divorced your daughter was more than enough for you, then why did you remarry? And of course I'm not saying you're a failure like everyone else did, but how many of your marriages failed? All of them, but to no fault of your own, right? If your daughter was more than enough for you and you were more than enough for her, why did you bring more failed marriages into her life? And this is gonna be it for today. As always, I do hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still appreciate you for making it this far. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.